We should be live right now, family. We should be live. It's late night, y'all. It's Friday though, right? Yeah, yeah. So we good to go, right?
Niggas ain't got school,
We-
and plus,
And yeah,
everybody
they don't.
sleeping.
and it's this a hip
They got
hop.
the Thanksgiving vacation.
This is a hip hop show, so we good tonight.
Yeah, niggas is up. Niggas is up. They fresh off them. Everything happened late now, bro. Fuck it.
That's right.
All right. Let me
The God hour.
All right, peace, family. Peace to everybody filling in the chat room, man. We're gonna have a good show tonight, a hip hop based show tonight. You know, hip hop is the culture that influences our youth the most. So there's no denying the impact of hip hop. I'm gonna let y'all fill in the room. In the meantime, let me give a shout out to a couple of amazing businesses out there doing their thing. All right. First and foremost, shout out to Joint Balance Formula, Riverside Tai Chi. If you got problems with your joints, hit up the website on the screen. He also has glucose support formula, and that is for individuals with diabetes. Shout out to King Simon. He got his new book, Numerology for Mental Stability. And if you also want numerology readings, you could text the number on the screen, and he will get back to you. The Magic Money, of course, the book of the one of the books of the year is available via Cash App. This is dealing with spiritual techniques to acquire money. I gotta send everybody ordered a book today. I didn't send it out yet, so I'm gonna send it out after the show. Hit the Cash App, $Black Magic 363. The fee is $10, and make sure you leave your email, and I will send it out to you. Got a batch coming out, sending out tonight. Shout out to Copper Child Mike L. If you see the hat I'm wearing is presented by this brother right here. The brother has awesome hats. I think Cam's not wearing the hat today. Cam usually is wearing the hat, but not today. The brother also has crystals, but make sure you holler at that brother if you want some high frequency clothing. And of course, me and the brother Billy Carson. Billy Carson and KT just had an amazing show the other day. So make sure you sign up for the. We were talking about remote viewing the whole show. Andromeda, galaxies, all types. It was a very interesting high frequency show. If you're interested in the remote viewing workshop, the link should be in the description. If it's not in the description, it'll be there after the show. But we're hosting a remote viewing workshop December 5th. So for more information, check after the show, and the link will be in the description. And with that being said, man, let's start the show. Cambatta Red, you hear me?
Yes, sir. I was muted. Yeah, I'm in here.
All right. I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Yeah. So listen, man, we had. The Verzuz battle last night, family. Jeezy and Gucci. Now we always talk about how hip hop is deaf culture at this point, and how the gatekeepers of hip hop, they want you to be on some nigga shit, on some deaf shit, on some low vibrational shit. They encourage that. That's what That's what they encourage, and that's what they want. Gucci and Jeezy, when we grew up, we seen all types of nigga shit come from them. That whole trap era, we've seen a lot of stuff. But last night, we seen something amazing. We seen growth from an individual that was like the poster child for trap music and for trap boys. And I'm talking about Young Jeezy. We seen him mature before our eyes, and we see transformation take place. And we seen something magnificent last night. And besides him growing and maturing, just the battle was just amazing. The energy. I mean, that was like the dopest event of 2020 so far, like hands down to me. So we're gonna have a good discussion about the battle, what it means to our culture. Will our culture evolve just like the battle? We seen it went from nigga shit to some grown man shit right in the middle of the battle. Will we mature? Will we evolve as a people that fast? So let's have this conversation. Red Pill and Cambatta, just to start out with, what's your thoughts on? I mean, over 2 million people watching. I was talking to Cambatta earlier. Cambatta was like, "Yo, that's pay-per-view numbers." I mean, this has turned into something. Shout out to Swiss and Timberland for doing what they're doing. and being creative during the pandemic and coming up with something like this. Start out with, what's your thoughts on the battle last night, family?
I set it off. Yo, peace to the family. It's been a while since I was on there. Peace, Rich. Peace, Red Pill. Happy belated birthday. Congratulations on the project.
Thank you, King.
As far as this battle, man, I mean, like Rich said, I must, I guess, reinforce the statement of it's exemplary. When we're talking about seeing the growth of people, like literally, we're talking about the trap gods of rap, like the literal explanation that Jeezy would give you on the track when he's saying, if you look inside my crib, you're gonna find three, you know, he would literally tell you exactly what he has on the scale and how much it costs. You know what I mean? To Gucci, Gucci to me was more underground. It was like he was more active. He was like the machine gun to where Gucci is to where Jeezy is the shotgun or the rocket launcher. But to see them to go from these street characters, and I you know, not to disrespect them, but as far as like their ego, their moniker, to go from complete trap lords to now look at them now they look honestly physically younger than they did when they were back then. Both of them were overweight in those times. Now both of them are in shape. They're literally doing what gangsters never do, and that's like, you know, you gotta excuse me, I'm a little fucking, you know, hey. But it was amazing. It was amazing to see such growth and to see such maturity out of people who definitely signified violence and drug culture. Like, they literally made amends. It was cringy at certain parts, especially because how blatant Gucci was, like off rip. He started off with the diss songs. And
right off the rip.
Yeah, like it was like, oh, he came ready. Like Gucci actually was like ready for whatever it seemed like, unless it was all planned, which might be true. But Jeezy was his collectedness was of a true boss. You know what I mean? And you know, so I respected the maturity, the growth, the evolution. It was definitely entertaining. Yes, sir.
So I share the sentiments of my comrades that this event was one of the culturally significant events of 2020. There may be some people of my age group and my demographics who may feel that this is irrelevant, and they may not understand last night. I just want to share with them that the trap culture, trap god culture, trap rap, for the generation of today, the same generation that are embroiled in numerous gang wars, murderous activity. There's a gang war going. There's a war in Dallas right now that have already claimed 11 lives, and there's about 20 some odd people shot. Rumor has it that Boozy got hit with an AK in his leg. They Swiss cheese his van up. You know, Mo 3 got bodied on a highway in broad daylight. So the new generation, Quando Rondo just put out a diss song talking about pick your boy up to King Von, to Lil Durk and whatnot. There's a huge beef going on. There's murder going on. The youth who were divinely inspired by either or Jeezy or Gucci or both of them. The new generation that we call the drillers and the trap rappers, some of the most wealthiest entertainers in the music industry right now. They were given their marching orders. The studio was opened up to them by Gucci Mane, not young Jeezy. Jeezy is influenced. Gucci Mane was hands-on. Gucci Mane was the underdog. Gucci Mane represented homegrown Atlanta. When the war took place between Jeezy and Gucci 15 years ago, that was the great schism or the great ism in Atlanta. It split. Jeezy represented the out-of-towners. Jeezy represented the dudes that was getting money. Gucci Man represented homegrown, the North Side, Zone 6, Slaughter Gang, D4, everybody that's in Atlanta right now. I don't want to say it to implicate anybody, but they're very aggressive towards keeping their names and their reputations and their and whatever side they repping, they rep it in blood, literally. They rep it in big bodies, literally. You know what I'm talking about? This is not a rumor-based type of thing anymore. This is real work that they're putting in. And they were inspired by Gucci, because Gucci represented Atlanta. That's why you got the Migos popping out. That's why you got Slaughter Gang. That's why you got Lil Baby and all of them. They represent the underdogs. They represented what Gucci represented. And there always was a rift. And by them coming together and piecing it out, that healed a whole city that has been divided. People don't understand the significance of what took place. And I'm talking about even around the border, the drill rappers, the Bobby Shmurdas, the Chief Keefs of the world, all of them was inspired by that beef right there. So conflict resolution in terms of maturity, not just on the fact that they were able to perform a song together. I'm talking about maturity all around the border. There was numerous times that they showed that maturity was showed, mainly by Jeezy, but definitely by Gucci. And I say that he needed to do what he did because he was transgressed against. Remember, he was the one in this boat in a relationship. He was the one who was transgressed against. It was just that Jeezy was able to play it off and hide the fact that he was the transgressor. So the fact that Gucci Man had to publicly say, I'm smoking on homie, he waited 15 years to perform the diss song in front of Gucci's face and to say what, because if it's like, if I'm not gonna hurt you, if I'm not gonna put hands on you, at least I gotta say that I'm smoking a pack of the person that y'all sent to come and get me. And I sent them back to you, and it wasn't mission complete.
You're right. Cause it's like Gucci, you're right. His whole candor was even at the end when they it's not like, I guess they invisibly shook hands. It was like he said, no disrespect, it's all love.
Olive branch.
Yeah.
It's all love. Yeah.
It's him in a way,
but
backing down without losing pride, I guess.
Exactly. So how can I extend the olive branch and I didn't get to perform that song in your face? And I didn't get to say that I'm smoking on homie. I got to get my shit off. Then we could say that there's an olive branch piece. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of, shout out to Luck, shout out to Smack, shout out to URL. If you watch the URL, if you understand battle rap, that was battle rap. But the aspect of what battle rap does and what the drill artists do of today, why people saying that they're smoking on somebody who just died, and we're gonna talk about the spiritual implications behind that, why that's very dangerous, and why that's leading to multiple murders in different places all around, is because you cannot desecrate the dead like that. That's just not a hood rule. That's a spiritual rule. We're in the month of Scorpio. You saw a lot of death this Scorpio season, did you not?
Oh yeah.
There was 5 rappers that got shot last week.
That's crazy.
Scorpio season is death. Scorpio is death. There was all kind of alignments going on. The brother got killed on Friday the 13th. So
it's at this point, it's not even. It's like there's so many patterns. There's so many algorithms being exposed that people ain't even amazed anymore. It's just like we're getting bombarded.
Yeah.
Because there's a level of desensitization.
Yeah.
Remember, we're literally in the deaf culture. How can we identify that we're in a deaf culture? Because it's not just deaf cells. Deaf is the undercurrent to a lot of these. If you could show me the top 20 artists and I could show you how they're tied into bodies and death, it's pure deaf culture. The artists that are streaming multi-millions of views, they got deaf attached to them. When niggas is wiping their nose, all of that, that's all deaf culture shit. these young children on zombies, deaf culture. They're out here drilling. That's the deaf culture. The whole competition in hip hop is who's gonna die next with the drillers. That is, especially with the drillers. So if I like Pop Smoke, I cannot like, or I can't show. I can't be in the comment section of the ops and show them support. I can't do that. I'm talking about on with the young kids that be in high school. It goes deep in that level. Maybe with adults, we don't care. But the culture of the youth, oh, it's gang, bro. That's their life right now.
Do you think that it's realer now? Because I mean, in the days of Gucci and Yeezy, and even before that, there weren't as many rappers. Now anybody can be a rapper, to the point that if you are a hitman, or if you're a drug dealer, or if you're a trapper or a driller, everybody's a rapper now. So is it that more rappers are dying, or is it that more people are rappers? Because I think it's
Let me share something with you. Yeah.
Excellent observation.
I would say that rap is the new dope game. The rise of social media and the internet, remember the death of the mixtape and the rise of the streaming platforms. The same thing with consciousness. You didn't have to go through any type of filter system. You didn't have to walk through the front door. You came through the side door by changing your name on Instagram or Facebook and self-anointing yourself. So there's rappers on World Star that are self-anointed, on SoundCloud that are self-anointed. They're paying their way through. Once they get it,
it's right. A laundromat too.
It's a laundromat. Once they sign to Empire or one of these digital distribution systems, remember, it's all a money game. So they lock in and then they play. They get booked for Rolling Loud. They get booked for Adam 22, or they get booked for one of these other things. And that solidifies their name amongst that crop of about, this batch has grown to about 500 now. When you go and do the research, there's 8,000 Lils on Spotify. So it has, goes back, deaf culture. We don't die, we multiply. It's like the Gremlins. So because of World Star, the exposure of World Star, where they lowered the standard of what an MC was, where they dehumanized, desensitized, and debased with the uniqueness of a rapper. Overexposure through the internet, overexposure through these certain portals, where it was a deluge of just artists after artists after artists. It's almost like an assembly line. Like when there was one iPhone, when it first came out, it was a breakthrough. People were flocking to it because of it stood in its own class. Now there's so many things to choose from. It doesn't have the same allure. It has to keep reinventing itself. So the new artists of today had to reinvent themselves to where they like, yo, I'm really catching bodies. I'm really pimping. I'm really moving weight. Really. I'm really gang banging. I'm gang for real. And it has created an environment where the quote unquote, there is no more big homies. Once the teenagers took over, like when they signed Chief Keef, who was 16 at the time, to like $30 million. This was in 2012. And then when the industry said that we're handing over the whole industry to 17-year-olds, they said this around 2012, 13, when they were switching to digital. So there is no rules. There's no big homies. There's nobody, there's no one, none of the older heads is publicly saying, I could stop the young kids from killing each other. Nobody's that connected.
Yeah, I mean,
you see what happened to Meek Mill when he tried to talk.
If a kid can swipe his way to 20K or flip his way or loot and flip some clothes their way to 20K, that's enough to legitimize yourself on the internet. Guaranteed now. The system has been established for a while.
Exactly. So look at this, Cam. So you know that the youth are more tech savvy than the old heads. Yeah. The youth know, like TJ6, X6 or whatever, they on the dark web. They know about getting numbers. They know about all of the cheat codes. So they know how to boost their numbers up. It was told to me when I was in the studio right in Atlanta, the dude we was in a major studio. He said, bro, he said, if you go to a label with a certain amount of numbers, they don't know if it's real or not. They're not checking for that. They just see the number and you could get a bag immediately. So what did these younger artists do? They're investing stacks into bigging up their numbers through these click farms and other things. They're using those numbers to broker and leverage deals. Once again, once you get a blue verified check, or once you get some sort of certification of that world, whatever that shit is, the front page of World Star, they doing swipies to get where they need to go.
It's crazy.
So they're hacking the code to make it work for them, not just in hip hop or rap music. They're doing it all across the board. So what are you going to tell a 12-year-old or 13-year-old or 15-year-old who's out there finessing shit and they figured out the game? So it's an open end thing. And the money is different. It's more money than it was before.
And it's instant. You go right to the PayPal now. You don't need
and all of the artists. Right. And look, I'm going to just give you New York, for example, to show you how this is something deeper than what we think it is. It's not just because people is in the streets and they're hot. No, it's the fact that the industry has a unique or a peculiar relationship with the underworld. Damn near every artist that came out of New York since Bobby Shmurda, everyone is gang related. There's nobody popping out of New York and you're not affiliated with either the B's or the C's or the Woos or the Chews right now. It doesn't happen like that. Look, Cardi B is a blood. Tekashi's a blood. Right? Tekashi's a blood. Cardi's the blood.
What's the
Popping them is a Crip. Right?
The sister, the stud. What's her name?
What's her name? Young and May is the blood.
Young and May, yeah.
Right? Casanova's a blood. Right? I could go on for days. Everybody's affiliated. And for the people who are not affiliated and they're New York rappers, they only get but so far. So think about what it is. Think about the subtleties of recruitment that's going on in these high schools, these junior high schools, and in the mind, because the children are listening to the radio. The children are impressionable. They like, hold on, Reebok is with Cardi and she's in all red eating a crab. I know they know what that is. They're like, yo, that shit is fly. So the subtleties of what's being said is that, yo, this shit is up. I mean, it's anything can happen. Anything could go down. Like I was saying before, the record labels take out insurance on every single rapper that's of high risk. If you gang banging, you high risk. They'll take out 4 policies on you. Dead rappers get better promotion. They're gonna win if you get locked up, the label wins. If you get bodied, the label wins. If you body something, the label wins. Because your music is gonna stream more. If you get bodied, the insurance policy that they're gonna cash out on you is retarded, because any major corporation that has shareholders cannot sign an artist and have that's a liability. If they forward you $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, they got to answer to their board and their shareholders. So they have to insure you 10 times over because you got face tats, nigga, and you're gangbanging. And these companies would rather deal with an at-risk artist than a tree hugger because there's no incentive in that. So when you go and look at Empire's roster, how is it that all of the artists that got shot last week was from Empire? Benny Butcher is on Empire. Boozy Badass was working with Empire. MO3 is on Empire. King Von is on Empire. And I'm not talking about Empire with Lucius from the Fox TV show. I'm talking about the digital distribution Empire label, a real label. But it's no of coincidence that it's the same thing as the Fox TV show. And on that Fox TV show, they showed you the crookedness of the labels, how they play around and manipulate shit from behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah. They just they need a death toll, a hip hop death toll, like they have the Corona death toll now.
Crazy, right?
We need to consider this a pandemic.
Yo, it's crazy what's going on in hip hop, man. It's It's the deaf culture. I mean, obviously we've been talking about it for a while, but the shit just don't seem to be getting any better, bro. It don't seem to be.
But Rich, I'm telling you, I'll be, you know, this is about, I don't mean to cut your words. This is about identifying the architects. When there's a program running, the best way, they showed you in the Matrix, the best way to change the program or to manipulate it is you have to find the architect who wrote the program. Who are the writers? No one writer. Who are the coders of the reality? Young Jeezy and Gucci Man are the coders of this reality that we're seeing with these young kids that are out here drilling each other, that are set tripping. Remember, gang, gang, bang, bang. Jeezy brought that flag in. He was waving, he brought the black flag in. He brought gang culture to Atlanta. They wasn't banging like that before the whole gang shit popped off with BMF and when Jeezy was coming talking about I think it was the BDs, the GDs, and all of that stuff. That's a new entry into Atlanta culture. They were not repping the West Coast banging colors like that. So when the Gucci is a rapper who gained credibility by bodying something. They were not listening to him like that. They were not taking him serious. When he bodied something, they was like, Gucci, my nigga. So he was drilling. They tried to drill him. This is the first op right here. This is the first op relationship that the young generation could sit back and remember. Right?
Red, you all right? What happened to him?
My bad.
Yeah.
So this was the op. Jeezy and Gucci were both ops. How is it that they didn't run into each other for 15 years? How do you have to live your life? Where you got to make sure whatever shows that you're doing, he's not doing shows in that same town. Whatever award shows you get invited to, he's not there. Wherever you go, you got to make sure that your op is not going to be there. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We listen.
So, the whole world been watching these two to see who was gonna die first, who was gonna catch up with who and do one dirty. You know, that is a template. That template got diffused last night with conflict resolution. You know, as uncomfortable as it may felt, that's how it is when you're dealing with blood on the floor. Whenever blood is involved, when blood is spilled, it they say in the hood it can never be peace. That's if Nick's talking about stick to the code. Well, the code is if somebody spilled one of your people's blood, you know what you got to do. You don't go marching and asking people to bring you justice and peace. You say it's just us, and then you grab your piece.
Right.
So is it really Jeezy? Is it really Jeezy?
So that
could have went left. That could have went left. That could have went left. Like Gucci came, there was blood in his eyes. The way that he delivered that, and he said he was smoking on the pack, like it was Jeezy that really decided to not make this something more than that.
But yes,
I think sometimes we You going, Ray?
Yeah.
Oh, I go.
Yeah, no, sometimes we talk about how sometimes negativity could overpower. Like sometimes you'll be positive in a good mood, and somebody negative will come along and it just kill the vibe and make you become a negative person. I think yesterday we witnessed positivity overpowering negativity. Gucci wanted smoke. Gucci was with the shits yesterday. And Jeezy was, he was just, he wasn't going, he had his foot down. He was like, yo, I came here on some man shit. I'm gonna leave you on some man shit. This is Gucci kept taking jabs at him, talking about, I got to throw in a $10,000 outfit. Look at what my opponent wearing. And Jeezy just kept talking about real estate, Then he was talking about King Von. He brought up, you know what I'm saying? Like nigga said, I got on a $10,000 outfit. Gucci was like, I own half of Atlanta, and what? So we, the youth, we got a chance to hear somebody talk about the importance of real estate. Somebody that looked like a, you know, that looked like Red Pill or a trap rapper or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's very important because we're boastful about the wrong shit in our culture. We're boastful about jewelry, a watch we got, a shirt we got by a designer that don't even like us. And I think what's clever, we also seen right after the battle, Jeezy premiered his song Almighty Black Dollar. And that right there, did you hear that? You didn't hear that, huh, about it? Almighty Black Dollar?
No.
Powerful song, man. Powerful song. And here it come from Jeezy. That meant a lot, man. Like that was it, like from my eyes, from my lens, that was amazing. From where I'm standing. Seeing
Can I
Jubilee.
share some with you?
Yeah, definitely.
The original conflict or the DNA, the foundation of Jeezy's and Gucci Man's riff was this. Nigga, you wear the middle of the mall jewelry, take that monkey shit off. You embarrassing us. You can't sit with us. You represent niggas that's on drugs. I represent niggas that sell drugs. You understand? You still little bro. So the only thing that would have defeated Jeezy yesterday is if Gucci Man big bro'd him. Because that's never been the relationship. He's always been little bro. He's always been little fucking bro. Stay in your place. That's always been the argument. So the only way that the tides would have shifted and people thought that's what they were seeing, but they swiftly and quickly realized, oh, that's not what's happening tonight. This nigga's not allowing him to little bro him. Jeezy stayed in his fucking zone, reminding himself of who the fuck he was, even if everybody thought that he lost his ways over the years. He remembered this is little bro. I don't give a fuck if he got new teeth and all he cleaned up. He's still little bro. And what did Gucci do? He showed you that he's still little bro because he was talking about clothes. While big bro, while Jeezy was able to big bro him and say, remember, because if anybody's a fan of BMF, or not really BMF, but it's Jeezy, but it's Meech mentality. They wore all black, my nigga. You understand? They were not wearing designer. That's not what they did. That's not part of their dichotomy. That's what Gucci and them started pushing. BMF was about all black, and they were wearing diamonds. You understand? And they were not about pushing no white designers. And if anybody knows Big Meech's mentality, he was very militant minded. He wasn't one of those, he's not about cooning, and he's damn sure not somebody he knows who he is. So they were always about buying real estate. They were always about advancing themselves with that dollar. Even when it comes to pulling up in foreigns and whatnot, he talked about that as a marketing strategy. He was like, I was buying boxes of champagne and I already put it in the club, nigga. We did it until we could do it. So Jeezy he been groomed by somebody that's a little more advanced than Jacob York, who was grooming Gucci Man. But as you see, Gucci Man is still about this Gucci shit. He's still about the material. He's still dealing with the jewelry from the middle of the mall. Because you could take a nigga out of the middle of the mall, but you can't take the middle of the mall out of these niggas. You know what I'm talking about?
So, Red, where's the youth going leaning to at this point? Where's the culture leaning? Or you think we will go in 2021 more toward the Jeezy mentality or more toward the Gucci mentality?
Look, it all depends on the individuals. They're getting their lessons, they're getting their food, they're getting their gems. It depends on who's willing, who's mature, and who's ready to catch it. They're getting their medicine. It's the ones that will take the medicine, they're gonna advance. And the ones that they is blatant, you can see it. It leads to nowhere. The ones that follow certain edicts and the ones that refuse to change, you know, I can't say anything really negative about Gucci because even if he was on some little bro shit, he still is changing. He's just not changing at the pace of somebody who probably had a head start on him, which would be Jeezy. But he's changing. He looks, like Cam said, the brother looks 100 times better than he looked 15 years ago. You don't hear that all the time from these rappers. That's not something that you see across the border.
Yo, could I quickly interject? Just play a tad bit of devil's advocate. When I was watching it, I noticed that after Gucci Mane played this song, when Jeezy went into his statement, he perfectly had the next song timed. Now I say that to say this. Number one, does this whole thing lose value if it was staged? And number two, what are the chances that either of these guys, because I don't know the background and I don't mean to, I guess, be a conspirator or doubt their street cred, but to me, both of them, if both of them are affiliated with big gangsters, how do we know these guys are truly gangsters at all? How do we know that, number one, this wasn't all staged, and number two, it didn't matter what happened. They weren't going to fight each other. They're not the gunmen. These are not the big gangsters that we think they are. These are frontmen. Does you lose value if it was staged and planned? And number two, why do these two specifically matter? Like, other than their rapping, like what street cred does this even validate?
Because this is my thing. Young Jeezy represented an era, right? They reintroduced the BMF era last night. They reintroduced the feeling. They brought back the sound. They reminded the culture, nigga, you're running off of this program. This is the fucking program. This is what put you niggas in a trance in 2005, and you have not snapped out of it since. You hopping out of foreigns. Everybody want to be Meech still. So remember, what that battle represented was the battle of the culture, that the culture that has this is the center of the culture is Atlanta. Atlanta is the center of the quote unquote, they are the centerpiece of popular culture right now. And in the center of that, there was an era that took place in 2005, going all the way up into from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that culture is still kind of running shit, right? And it's still tied in with the big homie in New York with Hova, because Jeezy is a Hova artist. Hova hopped on the fucking remix. I mean, on the first album, came out of retirement with some heavy bars. They're not gangsters. They're trap rappers. They're trap stars. It's not about gangsterism. Remember, BMF wasn't around. They wasn't out there trying to do what the mafia did. They wasn't laying out. They wasn't catching bodies and everything. They were dealing with entertainment. They were dealing with flossing. They created Blow Money Fest. They created Making It Rain. You know, all of these quote unquote modalities, or all of these quote unquote, the bottles with the sparkles, all of that shit. All of these things come out of that. This is a modern day iteration of that era. So what that battle represented was that Jeezy or them person said it ain't about us, it's about the culture. It's bigger than them. They're just the figureheads that represented that culture. Like I said, Gucci is a prototype. He's a figurehead. He represents country niggas, not just Atlanta niggas in Alabama, niggas in the backwoods of Georgia, niggas in the Carolinas. He represents, look at his phenotype. He represents those dudes to get it out the mud. Jeezy, he represented the trappers, the out-of-towners, the Detroit, New York, Cali. Remember, all of the whole crew was multinational. They were from everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? He represented the trapper, the one who's out there getting it. But the trapper have to grow up. If you still trapping 15 years later, taking risks, doing the devil's work, smoking the devil's lettuce. No, I'm just playing. If you out there putting your life on the line and you still using the excuse that you feeding your children, nigga, you're lost. You're not playing the game the way that the game was set up to play. So if Jeezy is talking about I bought real estate, I done moved on. I'm so mature that I'm able to transmute your energy on some feng shui type shit. You know what I'm talking about? You see what the Asian girl told him? That's to be able to take all of that negative energy and then transmute it into love, to whereas you disabled your opponent. Gucci Man didn't even know what to do after that. He neutralized them to the point he had to say, yo, I accept the olive branch. I did not think that whole thing was staged in a way, because the tension was real.
Yeah. I think he knew,
you know,
one of
it was real.
He knew he was going to make that speech, and if you're making that speech and you're in a battle, you know you want to what song you want to throw on after that speech to match the energy and to add on to that speech.
Right.
So he definitely knew after that speech what he was going to throw on to make the battle that much more epic. I think he definitely knew that. And
right.
What song he threw on after that? Because that shit,
Get your mind right.
Nah, I don't think, what was that one?
I'm the illest nigga in it. You already know.
Yeah,
bro. But to
bro.
give you a lifetime baking soda, yeah, that part.
Yo, you know what was crazy about this versus Red is the fact that after one dude went, the other dude just went right. Like there was no talking; they just kept going right after. The shit was like it was like a flow. It was like
right.
Oh man, it was beautiful.
They were
man.
juggling.
The way they was just flowing.
Yeah, right. 25
it was dope,
songs.
Man. They just
25. They rinsed 25 out the clip, both of them.
Bro,
now,
so fluid.
The way,
yeah. Especially to me, Jeezy's, they both, I mean, honestly, like I haven't listened to that much Gucci over the years. Like I recognize his hits. Like number one, I was definitely more impressed than I thought I would be with his lyricism. He's definitely very descriptive and he has comprehensiveness. But Jeezy just has so many hits and he's been a part of so many hits. And those beats by Shorty, what is it, Shorty Red or Shorty, what's his name?
Shorty Red.
Yeah,
Shorty Classic.
Red. I mean, the dun, 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 those kind of epic. It's kind of what gave Rick Ross when he did I forgot the name of the song.
Maybach Music and all that.
Yeah, like that those
BMF.
questions. Yeah, like BMF, exactly. Like, and I that's probably why he named it that, essentially. Like now that I make the connection. But
Shorty Red defined the era and the sound.
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's a lot to do with that production too. But yeah, Jeezy, the way I appreciate Jeezy's, like, because I remember when it happened, it was 2005 when that it was like 2004, 2005 or something like that. And at the time, like I was just so much more into lyricism. I didn't appreciate as much his lyricism in the literal aspect of it. It was so literal, but the way his ad libs were just heavy. And I mean, he definitely changed the way he changed the format of rap sonically. I don't even know if he was aware of it. But Gucci, I know that he's been a part of ushering in the homie Rich Homie Quan, Young Thug, the Migos, all of these guys, and then you had like
Mike Will made it. He put Mike Will made it on.
Like,
a lot of producers. Yeah.
I see what you're saying, Red, and I know audience too that might not be as informed as me. I appreciate that, and that makes me look at it with a better perspective. What I just saw.
Do you think? For sure. Just listening last night. The beats was just, the sonics was amazing, incredible. That era, the sound was amazing. Do you think that because the hip hop culture is basically turned into a strip club culture, do you think that's stunting the growth of hip hop sonically? Because a lot of people want music that caters directly to how the strippers would move in the club or how people would will move in a club, and people don't really go dance in clubs like that no more. So do you think it's kind of the strip club culture is kind of hurting the production level of hip hop?
Nah, I would say some of the stripper songs are keeping a lot of black women in shape these days. They're looking a lot more, fit. I would say that the music industry is vast. There are different type of sounds that are prevalent right now. There's a Griselda sound that is, that gritty 90s sound. There is there's the trap sound in Atlanta right now. There's nothing like what Shorty Red introduced. Shorty Red, I think that nothing has topped that trap sound that he came with Jeezy's production. Because to be honest with you, if you really listen to the music, Gucci Mane's production is horrible compared to Jeezy. When you listen to the music on Tidal and you listen to all of the songs, Gucci Mane's earlier shit is not mastered. That's why he didn't want to play it, and he tried. That's when I knew that he was losing.
Yeah,
that's when I knew that he
I want
to
play some new shit. He was like, I want to play.
But he
some
said, "Don't play the classic."
Yeah,
because his new shit is mastered. His new shit sounds very good because he was doing songs with the Migos in him. They helped him step his shit up. Zaytoven or whoever they was dealing with in his earlier days, his music sounds horrible on replay. I'm talking about sonically, it's horrible. When I listen to Jeezy, when you listen to Bottom of the Map, how that shit goes through one headphone to the other, then back to the other, then back to the other. The sonics on that, I remember Thug Motivation album. I remember the Gangsta Grill mixtape, but the sonics on that shit, then when the bass was dropping, bruh. And I won't necessarily say that it was all strip club music, even though that's what it, eventually formed into. It was standing up around the time of crunk music, because I remember Little John and Yin Yang and all of them was popping simultaneously when the Jeezy era rose up and whatnot, because Jeezy eclipsed them niggas eventually. He put an end to the crunk era. So, I mean, I don't know, it's different sounds, but the strip club sound is prevalent right now. Like I said, 15 years later, the BMF, because I always have to reiterate, it's not the Jeezy, it's the BMF is the impact. Jeezy wrote the soundtrack. It was believable because they had a real life movie taking place every day. And it was the BMF movement. The other movement has come about that could match that with an artist who could match, it happened perfectly at the right time. So the movement that Gucci represents are these young artists that have become unicorns in the game. And that means something. That has a lot of weight to it. He has Godfather status because of that. And I would say that, what I learned too, that this conflict that they had ever since So Icy defined the trajectory of both of their music. But the one who was affected the most was Gucci Mane. Why? Because he was transgressed against. You damn right. Jeezy don't gotta go to sleep with Gucci Mane on his mind. But Gucci Mane went to sleep with that man on his mind every night. That's why he was acting the way that he did last night. He waited 15 years for that night. Jeezy waited to avoid that night for 15 years. There's a difference. Remember, he's the transgressor. He's trying to avoid the fucking smoke. You sent somebody to lay this nigga down and he laid him. You don't want to see that man. The nigga who laid him down wants to see you. I want to see you. I gotta look at you in your eyes, you bird ass nigga, and let you know what it is. So if anybody claims that they real, and if anybody claims that they understand the culture, yes, my niggas, that's therapy. Let it happen. Fuck that. That nigga was out of line. He tried to kill that man. He gets the smoke. I don't feel no sympathy to no young Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? He gets the smoke. Yeah, I'm smoking on your man. What? if you ever want to be in a room with me, you got to take that. But that's what that was. I saw that all. That's what I was watching. I was like, okay. But what do we see? Conflict resolution. The reason why the young boys are killing so much is because they say, yo, somebody killed my cousin 8 years ago. Old block, the whole, if you do the history on the Chicago gangs, the old block in Tucaville, those young men were killed 8 years ago, 6 years ago, and they're still killing for them. But nobody, I don't want to get into, but they're,
I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. I know it's late night, it's like 1 a.m, but there's like 1,400 people in the chat room. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Just tuning in, hearing us talk some hip hop talk. We got to switch it up every now and then, talk about a lot of different things on this platform. How many of y'all are getting Manifest Destiny? How many of y'all know me, Cambatta, and Loaded Lux got a project coming out in December called Manifest Destiny? How many of y'all are getting that? I'm just curious about this because we got a surprise coming on Black Friday. Black Friday, right, Cam?
That's it.
How many of y'all getting know about this project, Manifest Destiny? Can I get a 1? Does anybody know? Can I get a 1, or is it a
fire emojis?
Yeah, fire emoji, something on one, a fire emoji. How many of y'all know about this project? Because we talking about hip hop, and okay, I see one fire emoji. One person out of 1,500 know about it. Okay, I guess
that could be a good thing, man. Let Satan claws work.
Indeed,
do his bidding.
Okay, yeah, I see the people. I see the people responding now. Well, yeah, we got a project coming out. We got a project. I mean, we've been working hard on it. Me, Lux, Cam. It's something, if there's no getting around music and hip hop. Everything in life is music. You know what I'm saying? So we need a soundtrack. We need something that's going to shift the paradigm. We need something that's going to take us to where, the consciousness, the collective consciousness is going. And we get that here and there from artists like Red Pill and Rock and, different artists that are out there popping. So we're just going to continue on that stream of consciousness, me, Lux, and Cam, and we bringing something amazing. I mean, these are two of the most lyrical MCs that we've seen in the last decade. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, y'all y'all be ready for that. Yo, Cam, should I give him a little sneak peek, like 20 seconds or something? What you think, Cam?
The world is in your hands. You got the whole world.
They're not hype enough though. That's the thing. If they was more hype, I would say give them a sneak peek, but I don't think they hype enough, man. They don't seem like they want it, man. Like they want to.
Hyper.
Yeah, they're not excited, man.
Hyper like sugar in a diaper.
I don't know. Let me see. Y'all, do y'all want to hear a sneak peek or something? Or let me see. Let me play a sneak peek. Yeah. Nah, we gonna keep talking for a little while. I don't know. I'm gonna see how it work out.
Keep on talking.
Yeah, we'll keep talking for a little while. But listen,
and shout out to Red Pill. Shout out to this Red Summer. That just dropped. Crazy
indeed.
Too. Go out there, get LSD. Red Summer's already out right now. But that Manifest Destiny. When they don't see us, they don't hear. They just know that, Papa's got to be in the kitchen cooking something. That oven never goes off. That oven, we always cooking them. We scrambling them golden goose eggs out here, man. They know I'm a shadow warrior. I'm a night crawler. So when you don't hear about me, that just means that the fingers is twiddling, and the demons are giggling,
Indeed, no, indeed. What do you think? How when you heard how the streets reacted to Meek Mill when he said what he said about he's not signing any of these rappers till there's some form of unity, and he got a lot of backlash. Red, you just talked about something about it's easy from the outside. Some people might say from a square's perspective to say, yo, We need unity. You know, that's something that a lot of squares people might think squares say shit like that. But when a nigga move on you or your family, your wife, your uncle, your kids, or whoever, and then you got some dude with a kufi on talking about unity, you approaching it from a different angle. So you looking at him like he crazy.
Right.
So do you think we're approaching the streets wrong by just this kumbaya unity shit? Is that the wrong approach that we should use when people got real beef out there on Red and Cat?
I would say that the approach should be more informed, and it should have some solutions attached to them, because ultimately, some of these are crimes of poverty, some of these are of issues of lack. One person wants something that another person has, or there's an issue, there's a situation about somebody taking something from someone. All of these deal with the fact that opportunity is not available. But if we could create opportunity, then we could create options. If we could create opportunity, then we could create, the person could say, shit, I'm gonna either walk through door 1, 2, 3, or 4. And when there's no opportunity, there's only one door to walk through. You know what I mean? I gotta go spin the block. I think a lot of the people who are in the streets should be responsible for cleaning up the streets. I think that should be, I feel that duty falls on their shoulders. Brothers that are coming home, brothers that got lucky enough to dodge the system and whatnot. I feel like it's like their civic duty to get the streets back in order, because it would be facetious of them to put a square to do something that they should be doing. You feel me?
Right.
Just to add in this, I think that it's a situation of where obviously this isn't a new problem. This has been an issue just probably all through the history of man. If we just look at the behavior of nature, there's always going to be some conflict. But we can look at times to where art and music kind of reflected the times. I think overall it is doing better. I believe just if I do the eye test and I go outside, and it could be just the gentrification, it could be the cell phones, it could be whatever. But I remember a time where, as far as just, face-to-face value of violence in the streets and having to cross the streets, it was a lot worse. I think that it's beautiful that it's beautiful, progressive, it's evolutionary, revolutionary for us to keep continuing to try. But I think that this is a wave. It's a wave. There's going to be dips. There's going to be valleys. Most of the conflict, if it isn't in one area, it's going to be somewhere else. If it's not physical, it's going to manifest somewhere else. It's just almost natural. It's like the plight between the white man and the black man. Can you really resolve something like that completely? And what does a perfect utopian society look like? Where is the struggle? Where is the grit? Where does that take place? There's gonna always be the bottom. So
I would say, I would add on and say that there'll never be peace, because on this planet that we all exist on, this is a binary planet. There's always natural opposition. There's protagonist, antagonist. This is a predatory planet. The amoeba is trying to kill the bacteria. The predators in the jungle are trying to kill each other. The predators in the forest are trying to kill each other. The rat is always running from the cat. The dog is always running after the cat. You know what I'm saying? There are natural predators that are assigned to basically always try to kill another animal. That is their design. That's their intelligent design, is to be predators. So we have a natural foe. Melanated people, our natural antagonist protagonist relationship is against non-melanated people and whatnot. That's something that will never change. Conflict is what makes the world go around. There's no such thing as a utopia where there's no conflict, where there's no friction. Friction is natural. It's a way of life. You
Showing the
know,
way to
the
smooth.
cycle of life is, that's right. The cycle of life is things will die and something will kill it. You know what I mean? We can't change that program. That is a program that is exclusive to this plan or this plane of existence, this planet or this plane of existence. That's how this shit gets down. This is an animal planet. This is an animal planet, my niggas. So we can't get caught up on the shit that's going on as if we're supposed to be here forever, because that's not what the fuck we're here to do. We're here to
That's the point
experience
of
some
this
shit.
existence. That
You
resistance,
know what I'm talking
friction,
about?
friction is literally the point of being here. It's like
That's what it
literally
is.
there's no bliss is essentially what we call death. That's the
It's the
eternal resting.
nothingness.
Like this point, what we're seeing the outcome, they're playing out this when we see these conflicts, Jeezy and the Gucci, we're really seeing this the same thing that we see played out in every antagonist, protagonist storyline, every Jesus story, every Jesus Judas. It is literally
Mythos.
humans
Right.
cannot get out of the habitual nature to play out this story that has been told throughout the you know, the set, the raw set, the left eye, the night, the day. It is the poetry of living man. So it is like, just where is it going to be? And realizing that we truly don't have any power over it at all. It's beautiful that we try. And the main focus is to focus on yourself and your children and your family, and express it through your art, show by example, and hopefully that seeds the people who deserve to see through that lens. But there's certain people here that is bliss, that is their utopian, that disruption, that chaos. It's a necessary evil.
And necessary evil. Yeah. And I would say that what we're doing right now is right and exact. We're observing, and we're interpreting.
It's a
that's our only task. This is a latest iteration of the mythos, right? The latest iteration of the mythos. And back in the days, we would be in coliseums. Now the latest iteration is on Smack URL stages, and it's on Verzuz, you know, and it's on basketball courts, wherever niggas compete at. It's in a boxing ring with Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. It's in a URL octagon where these niggas is fly kicking and chopping each other. Wherever niggas are in Mandingo wrestling positions, in competition and in conflict, that's where the fuck the people are gonna be, because that's what they're attracted to. Remember, we all bottleneck to watch the motherfucking accidents. We love carnage. We love to see conflict. We love to see fight, fuck, and fornicate. That's what people are attracted to. They're stuck to that. And the social engineers know that. And if you niggas, you know, if niggas was out there and they were really out here trying to cook this matrix, they would apply the motherfucking ingredients. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the trap rappers are, it's Shakespearean, my niggas. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with it. It's Shakespearean. It is the fucking undergirdings of an underworld. It's part of the Popul Val when they were talking about the underworld. When they were talking about when you're dealing with the Osarian, the Osiris in the motherfucking underworld. He's the president of the underworld. That means that you control the nigga kingdom with these knuckle draggers that are part of the deaf culture. These niggas running around looking like they're dead. But in the Heru, in this myth of the Heru twins, we was in the underworld fucking with the dead, and Jesus was fucking with the lepers. Nigga, that's P Valley. Who you talking about? So,
go ahead, brother. Yeah.
Nah. I would say that we are all experiencing a mentor. We are in this level. We are in the Kali Yuga. We're in this. We're not in the same planes that we all existed in when we knew each other back in the days. We're a little bit further down the motherfucking down the totem pole or down the rabbit hole. It's a little bit darker here. It's not violence. It's not about, like Cam said, it's not that you got to cross the street because the people are aggressive. It's just darker. It's a darker feeling. The president is he's on demon time, bro. Like, this is a dark day. These are the dark ages. And the music is dark. Women are on some dark shit. The babies be on some dark shit. The cartoons are dark. Look at the cartoons that your children are watching. Rocky, what's that show?
Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Ricky and Morty. They were watching fucking Ren and Stimpy and shit like that. Those are some dark cartoons.
Yeah.
The sitcoms are dark. You know, the commercials are dark. We live in a different day and time.
Well, they're becoming more true. They're becoming like it's literally the trend and the monetary factor follows what used to be, I guess, taboo, pagan bullshit. Yeah. You know, conspiracy is now on, wakeness is now trendy. So the algorithm is to make money. They have to, for these old people, for these secret society, for these Illuminati to truly censor shit, they have to go through loops now because it's making them too much money to stop it. So the darkness is kind of gives credence to the fact that kids aren't kids, and the fact that we have been kind of hiding the truth for them by way of bunny rabbits and Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. These it's like, first of all, watching anything is terrible. Showing your kid anything on television, because cartoons are created by adults. Cartoons are literally created by the same people that create movies. So why wouldn't they seed it with some? Every single cartoon ever is terrible for your kid to watch, basically. But it's
shit. Don't say that, man. Damn.
Most I wouldn't say everyone ever.
My son just watched some Mickey Mouse, man. Damn, man.
I would say the best thing to do would take them outside and watch actual squirrels or actual mouses. Would probably, in my mind, right? But of course, that's in a perfect world. But what Red is saying is completely true. We're in a situation where we are watching a movie that we can feel, and everything from above is being played out. The stars are here. It's just in a different form. It's just as dark. It's just as brutal. It's just more psychological now. It's not physical.
And we have social media. So when you add, that's an extreme factor. Social media is a dimension. It's part of the Tesseract, bro. Look at this. Here it is. I'm in a physical location right here. But on my phone, right? I'm online. I'm in another dimension with you and Rich. Where the fuck am I at? Because there's somebody in Alaska watching me right now. There's somebody experiencing me in Africa on the West Coast while I'm sitting right here just chilling in Atlanta. Live. We're talking to more than 1,000 people around midnight. Fam. Just that little ingredient right there. It could be an ingredient for disaster, or it could be an ingredient for power. Social media is going to exasperate the fuckery that we're seeing right now. Social media, we didn't have that before. I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck did we have? How did we communicate? How did I know shit was going on the day that it happened? Was everybody calling you? Like, how did you know? We stayed informed. We ain't had no fucking email. Nigga, I wasn't reading no letters, my nigga.
Channel 8 News.
Niggas wasn't writing me letters.
It was Channel 8 News, dude. That's it, dude. That's literally all we had, man. That's why it was. We knew. But
look, Cam, you knew about shit that was going on in the Bronx, and you lived in Brooklyn. It would be shit that happened in Harlem, and we would know about it the day of. It's just that I'm still trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? I'm still shell shocked. But the social media thing has exasperated in good ways. It's 2020, right? It's the whole spectrum. There is no one or two. It's just the whole spectrum. And you have to decide what dial of the spectrum that you're gonna find. It's a quantum experience that we're living in, that right or wrong. There is no up or down. It's the whole thing at once. you know?
Yeah.
So we live in a great time, Rich, and we got to take the good with the bad. You feel me? And the only thing that is going to be constant is change. Don't let nobody try to rock you to sleep and put you on a revolutionary train and take you backwards in time to whereas they're going to stagnate you and they have you fearful of change. No, you don't have nothing to fear when it comes to change. Change is inevitable and change is good. The fact that niggas, that our iPhones keep going up in numbers, I'm good with that. I'm not scared of it. I'm not, oh my goodness, the computers are taking over. Nigga, did you talk to your great grandfather who's a fucking sharecropper? The machines took over back then, nigga. They went from picking cotton to having cotton gin machines. The machines been took over, bro. What do you mean? This is just the latest iteration. Keyword of the night, iteration. Yeah. It's just a 4.0 or 5.0.
We're all succumbing to it for sure. Especially like, and it's weird in these days to see, like literally, like just like what we saw with Jeezy and Gucci, we saw it with Snoop and DMX. I see it on Instagram and Twitter to where you see there was a veil of mystery or a mystique that artists had. So all you had to go by was their legend. So if you're listening to the locks of 50 Cent and they tell you they're a gangster, all you hear about is they're rapping and shit like that. Literally, you only have that to deal with. But now we're in the day where everybody's going live and we're seeing that these people, number one, are human. And number two, generally the only thing, it's truly exposing everybody. And at the same time is making everybody extremely humble at the same time. Number one, everybody's getting older. The young guns, see what the youngins are doing, they're literalizing everything. But it's also on camera now. Could you imagine how much of the same type of violence would be happening on World Star if World Star was there in the 90s?
Oh my
or even in the early 2000s. It would have been perpetuated by the fact that they have a camera now. It's really the technology that's changing, that's allowing a Gucci Mane Jeezy thing. Because imagine if that happened in front of a live crowd. If that same thing, that same live that we saw last night happened in front of a live crowd, it would have been a different energy. You know what I mean? Who knows what
people look like? Right.
Yeah, like it like, because at that point, you're the people who follow you are gonna feel some type of way, and they might not be as peaceful as Jeezy and Gucci were. So this technology is allowing a whole lot of different things that we couldn't imagine. But like we said, it's shifting from, you know, one style to the more psychological digitized style.
Indeed. Do you ever feel pressure, Cam? Real quick, Red, do you ever feel pressure, Cam? Like even working on LSD, the album you did earlier this year, and Manifest Destiny, the album you're working on with Lux now. Do you ever feel pressure to try to change your lyrics or to cater to what's popping? I mean, I know I've seen you sacrifice everything in your life just to be the best musician, the best artist you could possibly be. And I know you see so much bullshit out there that's way more popular than you. Does that ever get to you and you feel like you need to cater more to that audience, Cam?
No, me personally, like I've my character as a human is to always go in the opposite direction of the crowd. That's the crux of the reason why I'm not as popular as a Jeezy or a Gucci. I kind of create based on the music that I'm hearing. So I would say yes, in the sense that the beat dictates what I say or my rhythm or my emotion when I approach a track. So, and then the slang, you know, the point of lyricism is to get a point across in the most direct yet beautifully poetic way of possible. And to do that, I have to use a language that everyone can correspond with. So I do have to make sure that my language includes words and references that are contemporary enough for people for people to understand it now, in reference to the life now. So it's not pressure, it's artistic responsibility to use colors that people can see and to speak sounds that people can hear, because it's you know, to make the best song in the world, you have to make sure that it's visible or audible, or it's just a clash of chaos. Like, so yeah, I do have to do things that are sonically appealing based on the temperature and the frequency of now. But I would say my approach is I keep my slate clean. I don't listen to hip hop that much at all. I would say 90% of my musical intake is soul music and blues and things like that. 70s music I'm really into. And that's because I'm looking for pockets and I'm looking for ways to simplify what I do. I'm into making the most beautiful music, or the most felt music, or the most cognitively mind-blowing music. So I have no pressure from anything to do anything. It's always on my time and to my liking. I don't create for fans. I create to create, and then give it to but then once I get rid of it, it's for the world.
Do you think it's possible, Kim? Like, we was talking about the sonics of Jeezy and how his sound was so epic, cinematic. Do you think it's possible to have a culture of conscious lyrics and those type of beats? Because usually the beats we kind of hear with conscious music, it's not really moving that much. It's not really it don't have that epicness to it that a Jeezy production might have. So do you think will the culture go to the point where we'll hear that type of sound along with conscious lyrics?
I think so. I think it's already been there. It's not only will it, but it will. And I mean, in the '90s was a testament to it, because even the gangster music was from a point of view of wisdom.
Right. Okay.
A lot of the times, I mean, even if you listen to "Ready to Die" by Biggie, like, or a lot of Tupac songs, there was always messages. Even in hardcore reggae songs, it's always like freedom songs. I think definitely. Kendrick Lamar. I remember when Kendrick Lamar came out, literally every other rapper that I heard was making music in that style. Like, people literally emulate what's popping. And if it's popping, the little kids are gonna do it like that, you know. So absolutely, it's the content itself really. When you listen to '70s music, the only genre really that has that just brutally literal violence is hip hop, and because of the literalization of the lyrical style, it's the most lyrical style you could have musically. But if you listen to every form of music before that, it's mostly all love songs and peace songs. Through the history of mankind, it's usually been freedom songs, 99% love songs, gospel songs, and freedom songs. People sung because they felt something. They didn't sing because they just, you know, it was a different world. So not only will it come back to that, but that will prevail again. Love songs are always going to be the most dominant, and hip hop is the only world really, besides like death metal or like just like straight up satanic music. Hip hop is the only one that contains that range of lyricism. Everything else talks about peace and love and harmony.
Yo, do you agree when you hear somebody like Boozy or Jim Jones say that being a hip hop artist is the most dangerous job in the world? What do you think about that statement? Is it bullshit? Is it true?
No, I think it's hyperbolic. I would say maybe being a highly like a very popular artist a very popular street artist that has gang relations may be based on the population of people that are actually popular that do that and the ones that die. So yeah, if we could just make a category for gang related rappers that are also have a large audience, the percentage of them, maybe 20% of them will probably die at some point, not make it to 47. So in that way, yeah. But I would say absolutely not. I mean, obviously there's more dangerous jobs. I would say, you know, a road worker or somebody like that would probably have a harder time. I mean, based on strict math. But I guess I see what he's saying. Like, those kind of rappers, if you're a gangster rapper that's talking about rival gangs and people that die. Yes, that is completely dangerous to do. But not a lot of people on earth get that have that opportunity. That's like, how many people are popular rappers? It's highly hyperbolic because it's what we see. When we see something being tweeted and talked about, it seems like that's the only thing that's happening. We are in a cluster that is weird, where we just seen all of these rappers get shot, and that is highly abnormal to see that many rappers get shot at a time. But again, like, we're in the clout era. We're in like, yo, let me have a rap, you know.
Yeah.
Also, it's 2020. This year has just, I think all other concepts go out the window. All laws of man go out the window this year. We've seen the most insane shit this year, basically.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. Wow, man. Well, yeah, I just think just to wrap up tonight's talk, man. It's getting late, family. I don't want to keep the I think we lost Red Pill lost the signal. He was kind of breaking up toward the end anyway. But just to, conclude what we was talking about tonight, man. It was just good to witness that event with Jeezy and Gucci, and witness hip hop on a grand stage, man. To have 2 million people watching it at the same time, it's very inspiring to somebody like myself as a producer, working with an artist as yourself, man. I visualize creating that soundtrack for you, my brother, and I have the world vibing to it. So salute to Jeezy and Gucci. It's hard to make music for so long and to keep that passion. So salute to those brothers for being passionate and growing in their own little ways. You know what I'm saying? They both grown in their own ways. Gucci grew in terms of keeping his health up to par and improving on that. Jeezy grew in his ways. So yeah, I definitely commend those two brothers, man. But Cam, man, I look forward to Manifest Destiny, man. You excited, my brother?
Oh man. I mean, it's not to sound cheesy, but this truly a dream come true, man. And I mean, this entire plight, this is gonna be our third project together. For those that don't know, if you don't have the other ones, Holy Ghost 1 and 2. Since creating this music, this chemistry, I mean, the laboratory results are just beautiful. And I'm not somebody who even does this from a point of trying to become wealthy or get any attention. I do this for the purity of the flow state and creativity, for just to feel that's the most valuable thing in the world to me. So you giving me the eyes and the ears and allowing me on your platform has been one of the most rewarding things in my life. And for me to have the opportunity to work with Loaded Lux. I mean, I remember getting Smack DVD when I was in high school watching this dude. So this is bucket list. There's people would die for this opportunity. There's people in this chat room right now that would give anything to change seats with me in this opportunity. So I don't take it for granted. I have much gratitude, and I'm the most humble person in the world because of it. Like, I just want to make beautiful music, give these people something to get them out of this 2020 mode. And Manifest Destiny is as titled. Credit Rich for coming up with that and picking it out of the ethos, because it's that's what it is. This is Manifest Destiny. This is me getting to literally create with one of the world's greatest producers and one of the world's greatest lyricists. So,
Indeed,
I'm still
man.
a kid with this, man.
We gonna have Lux on here soon. Everybody's saying, yo, we're Lux, man. We keep seeing Cam and Lux. Are y'all really doing it with Lux? Yeah, Cam. Lux is here, man. We doing it with Lux. The next show we do with me and Cam, it will be me, Cam, and Lux. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to worry about that. But it's definitely going down. But like I said, family, tell a friend to tell a friend. We're gonna have a special surprise for y'all. Black Friday. I know everybody's out there. I don't know about y'all, but a lot of people who's doing the digital shopping. A lot of people who's going to be buying things, whether it's conscious stuff or not. We want to give y'all something, an alternative to a lot of the stuff out there. We want to give you something that you could vibe with during this so-called holiday season. So we're going to have a nice surprise for you. We're going to be dropping some singles on Black Friday. So stay tuned for that. And the full album, I think pre-orders will be available on Black Friday also, the album. So be prepared for that. Pre-orders will be available on Black Friday, and the full album will be available in December, family. In December. Anything you want to leave the people with, Cam?
Just stay tuned, man. Just stay tuned. I mean, thank you. You could throw any donations to the I'm gonna throw my Cash App on there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Give them your Cash App. If somebody send Cam something for the Cash App, I might play that song. I want to see if you got any hardcore supporters. What's your Cash App, Cam?
It's $CAMERONCARBONE. I'll put it in there. Yeah.
Well, you gonna put it in the chat?
Yeah, like I feel like one of them reverends. If you want one of Lord's blessings, you gotta make sure you donate for that holy water. For me, yes, absolutely. I'm going to absolutely use this money to go purchase illegal things to make me put me in the mode to do what I gotta do. You know?
You made me spit on my computer. Nigga said I'm going to use this money to purchase some illegal thing. Oh man, yo, you crazy, man. But yeah, I just want to see if you had any hardcore supporters, man, out there. Anybody sent you something, Cam? I want to see just how are they serious in the chat room or are they bullshit?
Let's see.
I want to know, man. But listen, man, I'm not gonna I think Red is trying to get back in. Let's wrap it up with Red.
Yeah, let's wrap it up with Red, and then once we make that ding, we'll make that sing.
Red. His audio's connected. Hold up, family. Yo, Red.
Quick.
Red, you hear me?
Quick. Peace.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we was just about to wrap it up, Red. We was just about to wrap it up, man. Why don't you close it out for the people? Let the people know something while we close it out, Red. Let them know.
We
something.
might have to give them that character. We might have to give them something, man. We might. What you thinking? Already character? What we talking about?
We gonna see. Did they send you something, man? That's what's
I got a little something.
Okay, yeah. So they not bullshitting. Red, let me let Red wrap it up real quick. Red, what you want to tell the people before we get out of here? We about to give them a sneak.
Shout out to Humor Phoenix. Thank you.
Yeah. Now I just want to say peace to the family. You know, we had a great conversation tonight. And you know, like I was saying, there was lessons to be learned last night with that Verzuz, you know, for the people that are out there on the front line teaching the youth, just take those lessons and make it work for you. You know what I'm talking about? Indeed.
Red, leave your contact info, Red. So, you know, before we forget, I don't want to forget.
Yeah, Phil_Moreland on Instagram and the other networks. You know, they ghosted me, so you got to put the whole name in there. Moreland. Know the Ledge Media. We just launched our first podcast today, as a matter of fact. So look out for Red and Blue. We're gonna be bringing back KTO, the podcast, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Hold up. Let me Okay, let me cue this real quick. I'm gonna give y'all a sneak real quick. Sneak peek. Hold up.
I'm gonna put the phone on.
All right, let me get this.
Sneak the peek like kick the snake, man. You get the heat and seek. I'm gonna peep the squeak. That's word to my diamond encrusted Jesus piece. Tell Uncle Sam to release his niece.
Already. Move back, let them work. Yeah. Damn. I'm already. Move back, let them work. 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 Move back, let them work. You've trapped in a curse. You don't know the whole truth, that's cause it hurts. I'ma bring the roots back from the dirt. New pastor of church. Moon crack from the burst. Now I feel like Tupac the reverse. New captain and I'm Kirk. Finished doing 2 laps on your verse. Every day a new black in a hearse. Like my mama 2 stacks in a purse. Too fast and alert. Wiggle out the news back to the earth. Whoa. Blue cash for the clerk. Spend it on a new Jag with the
Move back, let me work back. But we too tapped in this time. And I snap, that's a spurt. Finna get your crew cracked like a smirk jerk. This the lovers mix. Like a rubber bitch was making boom bap off a perk. For the cash money boy, hot as BG. Wayne Juvie back with Manny Fresh. We been cleaning up. You just threw axe on us.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you hear me right, Cam?
Yeah, I heard that.
That's enough. I can't play no more. I can't play no more, man. But we ready. Already.
They're gonna rip that and loop that. You're gonna hear that tomorrow.
Somebody go bootleg that? Somebody go bootleg that right there,
You can't
man.
wear a boot. You can't wear a boot without a leg.
But yeah, y'all like that right there. Y'all like that tune. I'm glad y'all like that, man. So we yeah, I'm glad y'all like that. We coming this Friday, family. Once again, this Friday, Black Friday, we will be dropping 2 singles for y'all, and pre-orders will be available. That's important. Pre-orders will be available. Show support. We'll give you all the information by then, but show support. Make sure you get the pre-order if you like what you like. If you like what you just heard, we got a whole album just as good and even better with an absolutely amazing soundtrack to the times that we are in, family. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. And with that being said, I guess we could get out of here, right? Everybody good?
Man, that's what we could do, man. Shout to Gilberto and Let's Play. You know, the Cash App, filling up that tank on that day.
Yeah, they hitting you up, Cam?
They do, man. They top dancing, and the boys.
Oh, man, that's good. That's excellent. All right, family. Thank you, Cam. Thanks, Red Pill. I think his mic is on mute right now. But
somebody said that sound like reptilian stripper music.
Y'all stupid. Yo, I would have thank Red Pill as well. I don't know where Red went, but thanks, Red, for being on.
I'm right here. I hear y'all, man. Good looking.
Okay. All right, man.